How you doing, sir?
Just fine. Thank you. Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great.
I know.
Well, before your thunderstorms hit and before things get crazy there, we're going to talk about because. When you start,
Yes.
you said that you were just talking about because, and of course, I was talking to somebody about because, and let's talk about because.
Yes. Well, what it is, it says you are being the cause of whatever takes place in your world of experiencing. You did it.
Absolutely.
You see, and this is not judgment. I'm just telling you how mine works. You see, the thing of it is, well, actually, the problem is it's on all the time. You see, but are you paying attention all the time? I know you're not, but the idea is more to the positive idea than to the negative idea. It's just as simple as that. And I'll tell you what, once you start watching and listening to your own inner conversations with yourself, your suggestions to yourself, once you start doing that and you start seeing how you're setting yourself up probably for a problem, and you can cancel it immediately right then and there. But you see, if you're not aware that that is a positive cause, rather it's good or otherwise, because it was whatsoever a man believes. That's his world of experiencing. So if you know what you believe, you know where you're on your way. And you're on your way when you're paying attention to what you're talking to yourself about, because that's your world of experiencing. You're always thinking ahead of the evidence that you're experiencing. Is that not so?
That's absolutely so. You said something though in the talk of being cause, whether it be positive or negative. You said that if it's a negative, you can cancel it. How does one go about canceling that negative thought?
Have a positive one. Well, that's actually true because you can only think one thought at a time. And I remember I told you I asked those three gentlemen who wanted to tell me about Jesus Christ, and they were surprised when I told them, well, yeah, I'm quite well acquainted with him. And then they were kind of stuck. But the point was, I asked him, could I ask you a question? And he says, oh yes. And I said, can you choose your next thought? And he looked kind of confused and looked at the other guys, and they looked at me. He says, well, yeah, I can choose my next thought. Just like that. And I said, I then I would like to make a suggestion. Don't stop. See, if you're not choosing what you're thinking feelingly about, then the world around you will fill in your absence. And if you're not the one choosing, then you are choosing to be absent. But that also makes you vulnerable. You see, because if you're not paying attention and it's somebody else's attention, or you're lost in thought, well, and that is really a no place to go. That lost in thought, because if you're not aware that all of it, every thought, every word, and you're using the word to think, you think in words, right? Well,
Absolutely.
and the word was with God, and the word was God, and He's telling you, hey, I'm right here with you, right here now. You turn to me, I'll turn to you. You can turn. I mean, you really can. I mean, he told you to. And if he told you to, why would you doubt you could do it? See, that's really our whole conversation. Awareness of being. You see, you have to be aware of what you're being to understand how you got to be being what you're being. And all you have to do is just trace from what you're experiencing right now, just back a little ways to your thinking and feeling, and you'll see that there's a connection. And that's a connection to your whole world of experiencing. You are actually in charge, even if you're out of control. Isn't that so?
That's absolutely so. It's funny, you spoke of awareness of being. And I think that people really don't understand what's being said when you say that, because there was somebody I was looking inside the Facebook group, and somebody had put a post out there, and it was about this young lady teaching how to manifest money. And so she was given all these formulas and things to manifest money. But if they just do what you just said, awareness of being, if I'm in a being state of impoverishment, then only thing that I can attract to myself is more impoverishment. Even if an avalanche of wealth comes, because I'm in a mindset of impoverishment, I'm going to lose that wealth. But when I begin to feel abundant, when I begin operating from a place of abundance, then that's what I begin to attract to myself.
That's it. That's it. Attitude awareness. Be aware of your attitudes. See, listen to what he's saying. He's telling you just be aware. That's the whole world out there is looking for people who are not aware. Don't be one of them, because really no. And believe me, I have heard the stories of people just for a moment not being aware and disaster. So it really is something that should be on your list of practice being aware, because believe me, it'll not only save your life in the traffic and stuff like that, but it'll also save your life because you won't be thinking up monsters that you can't handle. And that's what people are doing. Oh, I see them. I see the looks on their faces. I know they're not happy, and they would have an excuse for not being happy, and that excuse would allow them to forgive it and then operate from it. See, and they're unaware they're doing so. And all we're talking about is just be more aware. Your whole life will change. If you get wholehearted about it, it'll change immediately. And but I want to caution you: be patient with yourself. When you sit down to contemplate and meditate, be patient with yourself. That was my nemesis. That took me years to conquer that. Just be patient with yourself, because he wants you to know, but you see, he's not going to interrupt you. See, he's not going to, like tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, no, you don't do. He gave you choose this day, and you are about doing so. It wasn't a request. You see, it was do a thing, and you shall have the power. That you shall have. See, it's not even in question. It says you shall have if you'll do it. So you see, actually, you're on automatic. But are you understanding what it is to be on automatic? You have to stand and see the victory. You have to stay with it. You have to feel after him being, doing, having. You're looking for the end result. That's all. And that's your business. The rest of it's not your business. That's God's business. He said, what did Jesus say? I myself can do nothing. Every time I say that, it really kind of grabs you. He says, I of myself can do nothing. The Father within, he doeth all the work. See? And where? In the theater of mind, in mind of imagination. What are you doing in your what do you see yourself doing in your imagination? I mean, just follow along that for a while, and you're going to start getting suspicious. And then you'll find out what we're telling you is that be the cause of the wonderfulness you're looking for, because what you're looking for is looking for you. But you got to be still to catch it. The magic is in the stillness. I mean, that's where I found it. And but that's where I was told I was going to find it. But then I thought, this ain't working, man. No, it was working fine. I wasn't working. You see, I wasn't being patient. I wasn't like, well, yeah, come on. I mean, you're telling God, come on. Yeah, man, no. He said, I'm here. Where are you? You're told, you turn to me, I'll turn to you. That's an invitation from God this day. And if you realize it's really always this day. So he's with you right here, right now. And what does he tell you? I suffer with you, but you behold me not. And then he tells you, I'm with you always. And even those who confessed it, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. He's trying to tell you that you've gotten caught up in the dramas of the play, and they're pushing on you from one side or the other, and if you don't hold your ground, you can get sucked in really simple. I mean, I got cut you off. You go, ah! See, and that's all it takes. You can allow it to ruin the rest of your whole day right there, and maybe the evening too. And then you might even not be able to go to sleep cussing the guy out. You see, we do it to ourselves. All denial is self-denial. We do it to ourselves. And then we're saying, yeah, but. There's no yeah, but. There just isn't. You are the cause of what's happening in your world of experience. And once you really understand that, you'll start watching what you're saying to yourself, and you're going to find out you found the enemy in his eye. I mean, that was Pogo wanted to say that. Hey, he's right with you, but so is ego. And ego, it will take any and every chance to run the show. And you do not want ego running the show, because he don't care what happens to you. He don't want you to die, because then he loses. But that's the only other way you can get rid of him. You see, and actually you don't, because you see, there's nothing transforming in death. So your state of mind right now, if that's when you go, that's your state of mind again. Oh, you got a new body and all that, but you see, the mindsets go with you. I mean, there's no change until there's a change of mind. I mean, I thought he made that very clear many times. There's no change until there's a change of mind. And why did he tell you point blank? Change your mind, change your world. There it is. And that's the way he told it, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love that you said that, and I want to re-emphasize what was said. There's no change until there's a change of mind. So whatever it is that you want, until you change your mindset, until you change that state of being that you're occupying at the moment, no change is going to be evident. No change is going to exist. So just be mindful.
I'm sorry. It's escape. That's all. You're given an escape. See, in other words, you're not bound to something unless you've bound with it. See, things happen to everybody, but the idea is you don't bond with that, because if you do, then you're accepting it. You're saying, okay, yes, that's what you're saying. You're saying, okay, isn't that it?
Absolutely.
And then what do you got left? To feel bad because you thought so. You see, it's as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And that's male, female. See, I'm surprised in this day that you still have to say that, because, but in some parts of the world, man, that would be treasonous to say something. And I no, don't want to go there. No, it is terrible. The way people are, well, man's inhumanity to man. That's ongoing, and it's the world that we were given to. But you do have a choice. See, choose this day. You do have a choice, and all you have to do is really sit down and make a wise choice. I mean, that's all there is to it. It's just sitting down and making a wise choice, and then sticking with it. See, that's the important part, is sticking with it. Uh, like I said, because of my, at the time, my inability to actually see that I was paying attention. It was very, very, very discerning not to be able to have control. But you have control if you take it. See, you have to claim the control. You are in control, but even if you're out of control, you're still in control. That's the scary part, because every word, you see, listen, every word must be accounted for. It has a value, and that value is always taken into consideration. In other words, your world is like built board by board and stick by stick, and that literally, because it's what you think is going on is actually what will be going on, because it's not going into the past, it's being projected into your future. So in other words, you're in charge of setting up your future right now. Isn't that so?
Absolutely. You said something, I want to touch on it because I think that it's going to be missed by most. You said that every word has value. And what we have to understand with words, many words have thousands upon thousands of years of meaning. So when we say a word, we think that I'm just saying blank, but that word is infused with thousands of years of energy. So when you speak that word, understand that word is transformative, whether it be towards life or death.
Yes, it's like I said, all those books I have here, they're the great minds down through the centuries, and they all agree on one thing: that man is his own attitude. That's his life. And if you catch yourself in the attitude taking you where you don't want to go, and pay no attention to it, then you're going to go. See, you have cancel, delete, do so, and do so completely. Oh, it'll come back a time and time again, but it just keep deleting it, because eventually it will be deleted, and you will be delighted if it's deleted. And believe me, yeah, I'm not kidding you here. That's the way it works. That's the way mine works. Mine's working in your favor, if you'll let it. See, in other words, let go and let God. That you can do. And if you would do, you would learn something that's beyond anything natural man mind could bestow upon you. As within, so without. Your world on the without is all secondhand. It was only new in the mind of somebody. Everything, every object in the mind of somebody. And it's all hearsay from without. It's all hearsay by the hearing of the ear. But then it's up to the individual to pay attention to what is said and then discern for themselves. This is good. This is not good. I will do this. I won't do that. It's always up to you. Every moment, every day, it's always this day, and you're told choose this day. So if you chose this day, and it's lovely and a good report, and you like it, you love it, it'll be repeated again. But if you have a thought in the meantime that goes the other way, you see, you've just denied yourself what you already set in motion, and then you denied it. See, you got to be aware of what you're allowing yourself to entertain as thought. Wouldn't you say, really?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You said earlier, and I want to go back to, you said what you're looking for is looking for you. And I know that people hear that and they think primarily in the positive. But when he says that, he's also meaning good, bad, or indifferent. So whatever it is that you're
Yeah,
looking for, if you're,
yeah.
Mr. Lindo, go ahead. Yeah, I want to add something, but go ahead.
No. I mean, just hearing you say it, you go, yeah, I did it that, yeah. But you see, just saying yeah to it doesn't set it here. You see, because what you want to make the positive a mindset. You got it? You want to make the positive your mindset, not a negative. Yeah, but you see, that's what most people are doing. They're actually setting up mindsets of negativeness and wallowing in it like a pig in a hog wallow. But come on, get out of it, get cleaned up. It's all a matter of thought. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Well, then if it's all a matter of thought, what are you thinking? Then you can answer all your own questions right there. What are you thinking? I mean, it's the world you're experiencing in. It's the world you're living in. It's the world you're operating in, and you're the operant power of the power. See, God didn't God didn't leave you here helpless, but we made ourselves helpless because we feared. You see, God did not give man the spirit of fear. God did not give man the spirit of sickness, but hey, you can still choose it. And if you're suffering it, then obviously you did, because I'm sure God didn't make a mistake. What you're suffering is exactly what you brought upon yourself, because all denial was said is self-denial. Self-denial. In other words, you can actually catch yourself denying yourself. But you have to be honest with yourself. You see, I know I immediately already had 100 justifications and excuses for being and doing what I was doing, and actually I believed them. See, that was the I actually believed it. And then when I was told I was wrong, huh, 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 yeah, yeah, I was wrong. Yeah, it's quite a thing to face being wrong. I mean, to yourself. See, you can justify anything to anybody else, but you know, that's the one real nemesis you have to deal with. You know, and it's what you know, it's what you're experiencing. And if you don't like it, then you can know different. See, you can change your mind, change your world, because God said so. So you can do so. He already said so. It's already a given. It's not waiting for you to be good. I mean, he knows that could take decades and decades, lifetimes, but and still you'd still be wanting, because scriptures already said that not one is worthy. So right away you're trying to dig your way out of a place that doesn't even exist, because you've already been forgiven. He's already told you that you're forgiven. That's, you turn to me, I'll turn to you, and the fact that he would turn to you, it means you're forgiven. But why would he turn to you? Why would he have anything to do with you at all? If not being worthy had anything to do with it. Because I can tell you right now, if you had to be worthy, we'd all have something to really worry about. And I don't even think faith would help you there. Attitudes. That's what we're all dealing with, our own attitudes. And especially those we put into words, because they bring up our emotions, and emotions are movement out from. And whatever it moves out from with is what you're thinking feelingly about. And if you know what you're thinking feelingly about, you know where you're going. You know where you're going. And you don't have to even think about it, because you see, that's not your part of the deal. Yours was choose. And as Jesus told you, God does all the work. So what do you got to do but just stand upon what you chose? And that would be being the cause of whatever's happening to you. But you get to choose it. See, I mean, once you get that in there, that you're given to choose. I mean, oh, me, I can choose. Yeah, you too. You can choose too. Attitude. What are do you know what your attitudes even are? Really? I thought I did, but I'm kind of like way off, but and straightening them out is difficult. It is, but you can do it. See, all you have to, I'll tell you, all you have to do is be persistent. That's it. If you're persistent, you win. When you give up your persistence, you lose. So if you're on a winning streak, stay there. It's simple to be happy, but it's terrible to be unhappy. I don't see why people don't see the ease of which you can shift states of mind, because you don't have no problem making a problem. There's not a person in the audience that couldn't get up and go out there, go out that door and cause a problem. Not one of you could fail in making a problem. But not one of you could fail making a wonderful thing happen. See, because you're in charge, even if you're not in control. But that's what we're talking about. You were given control when you were given choose this day. But what have you done with your control? See, that's all you have to. That's it, isn't it?
It is. It is. Absolutely. You said something. I want to go back to it. We were talking about. You said what you're looking for is looking for you. You often would add something to that, and you would say, "We don't get what we want. We get what we expect." And so everything that you're talking about as far as control, being in state, what are you expecting from your life? Because that's going to be your out picturing.
Yeah, well, that's an attitude, isn't it?
It is.
See, so there you are. You're living your own attitudes, and it's right there for you to complain about. You have no problem at all complaining about, well, everything that happens. You can complain about it. It's somebody else's fault or something. Some stuff just happens. No, that's not true. Nothing just happens. It has a cause. And you, in your world, is the cause, whatsoever. And you can say, oh, I would have never been able to think something like that could happen. Well, actually, you did. You just don't remember it because God don't make a mistake. As you think you are, man, that's straight out. That's a done deal. It's got the stamp of approval. You have dominion, and he's not going to interfere or entertain any thought of actually helping any individual because he's no respecter of persons. He gave everyone choose this day, and you're doing so. If you're not responsible to choose wisely, well, that's your call. That's your choice, and you were given choice, and that's how you used it. I mean, it's really kind of simple when you get down to it, isn't it?
It is. Absolutely.
But can they be that simple? See, it doesn't it say ye shall become as children, as little children, and what is he saying there? He's saying they'll believe anything, but you get to choose it. See, that's the difference that makes a difference for everybody in this world. You individually get to choose your life. Do so consistently, persistently, wisely, but do so consistently. Choose the world you're going to. You're doing so every day anyway. I mean, you're actually choosing your world every day. What? What is it? Is it lovely and a good report? Fine, expand it. But if it isn't, quit expanding it. In other words, quit paying attention to it. And that's actually all you have to do is pay attention to your problems, and they get bloomed out of. Well, you get overwhelmed, and if you get overwhelmed, then you're doing that to yourself. You're actually dreaming up monsters you can't handle. I do it. I do it every day. Every day it happens. There's a monster, and I'm telling him, no feeding today.